What's up, everybody? We're back at Red O in Newport Beach, and this time we're checking out a special table for two featuring a 2-pound tomahawk steak, a 1-pound Maine lobster tail, and several sides. It's the appropriately named Tablita For Two, and I imagine it makes a great romantic meal for two people with normal appetites. With no fanfare, no BS, and no Stalin, let's just get down to the food. The star attraction on this plate is the 32-ounce tomahawk steak, which is tender and flavorful on its own, but paired with the tahini butter, it's out of this world. Tahini butter is literally melted butter mixed with chili seasoning, salt, and lemon. It seems simple enough, but it adds a lot of texture and a proper amount of spice, without getting to be too much. The big steak is paired with a massive lobster tail. The lobster tail looks less impressive out of its shell, but it is incredibly soft and sweet. In some ways, I like to think of the lobster tail as the dessert of this platter, but it's not just about the mains here. This tablita for two comes paired with several large sides. There's a bowl of Spanish red rice, a bowl of freshly made guacamole, a bowl of freshly chopped pico de gallo, and a bowl of black beans topped with that delectable cotija cheese. Cotija cheese is a dry, salty cheese indigenous to Mexico. I compare it to Parmesan in some ways in terms of its texture. I feel cotija is an underutilized cheese that adds a ton of flavor and texture to nearly any dish. I'd like to see more places use it, and I'm glad that Red O does. You also get roasted fajita-style vegetables next to the steak and a generous helping of either flour or corn tortillas, so you can kind of build your own tacos. I went with flour tortillas. Each side is about a half a pound of food, so altogether with the tortillas and minus the lobster shell and the tomahawk bone, this platter for two weighs in around 4.5 pounds of food. It's really an exquisite dinner for two. This isn't something you're going to be eating every day. It would make it a lot less special, but it is something memorable, and it will make an impression upon you to see it up close. I was especially thrilled with the tenderness of the steak and the buttery smoothness of the guacamole. I also thought it was a really nice touch that they kind of prep the lobster tail in front of you. The chips and salsa on the table are not part of the actual tablita meal. They're a normal appetizer available at this restaurant. The same goes for the glass of orange juice, which I thought would be a great complement for all the meaty flavors on the table for two. I probably didn't need to get the chips and salsa. Some of you may be curious about what a tomahawk steak is, and I'll be honest and say that until recently I wasn't sure myself. So I did some reading, did some studying. It's a ribeye steak cooked with several inches of the rib bone still attached. It makes for an impressive little show when the steak is sliced off. The bare bone that comes off then resembles a tomahawk axe, thus the origin of the name. I'd never had one before, so I thought it was kind of a really cool presentation, especially if you have a bone to pick with someone. And boom goes the dynamite. That was definitely the most delectable and delicious meal I'd eaten in the past several months. Sushi notwithstanding. Check out Red O in the link down below to find out more about their Tablita For Two meal, and remember they have locations in La Jolla, Santa Monica, and Newport Beach. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Till we eat again, stay in school, don't do drugs, and eat like a freak.